All right, ladies and gents. Oh, well, mainly probably just gents. I don't know how many ladies watch trains. But it's that time of year again where Americans find new and explosive ways of removing body parts. It's the 4th of July. And if you're not American, well, it's just another Friday for you. But you can probably still look at the news and see what wondrous ways Americans have, or what wondrous accidents Americans have conjured up on the 4th of July. Because every year, there's always some catastrophic event where someone loses some digits, or an arm, or a leg, or unfortunately, some people lose their life. Try to be safe this year. Don't do anything stupid. In fact, just stay at home and watch this train video. How about that? There we go. That's safe. Anyways, but here we go. Here's this week. I started off in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to the Bowden, I don't know how you pronounce it, that yard. And I found this guy switching around. So obviously, I don't know how many of y'all like switching activities. I mean, it's good for like 2 minutes. But anyways, I do like that paint scheme. I heard someone affectionately call it the beach towel paint scheme. But then there's this guy. This guy has seen his fair share of days. You can kind of see where the hurricane logo used to be, and then you can kind of see where they repainted it with the, I don't even know what the next scheme was called, but it's the blue and white Florida East Coast without the herald and all that. But then you got this one, and apparently it's the beach towel, which I can see it. I can definitely see how it's called. It looks like a beach towel. So we'll go with that. Yes, that is the beach towel scheme. So found this guy switching and stuff in the yard. I think this was on a Sunday. Yeah, this was Father's Day. And so I had the wife and kiddo with me. And I was trying to introduce my 1-year-old to her future nerdy side. So we'll see if it takes. You can come back to me in like 16 years and we can figure out if that worked or not. So anyways, enjoy. Alright, so obviously, as you can probably see, there's not much just switching with this guy. It's forward and back, forward and back. So anyways, kind of watched him for a few minutes, and then I didn't really see any other activity going on. So we started heading south on US 1 to kind of head home. And so what I did not know is, I guess on the other side of him, they actually built the southbound train. Again, I don't know the number. I don't know. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm not the well-informed foamer that you expect me to be. I just wing it. But anyways, as we're heading home, I saw the signals had a green aspect to them. So I was like, wait, that's weird. I just came from the yard and I didn't see anything. But according to the signal, something's coming. And so as I was heading home, I started looking in the rearview mirror, and I could see the headlight of a train behind me. Which my wife tried to argue with me that, oh no, there's nothing coming. I was like, babe, I see a headlight. She's like, no, there's no headlight. Yes, you're talking to the nerd in the car. And so she was not convinced that I was sensing a train in the force. And so finally, after like 2 minutes of debating, excited debating, she figured out I was right. And she finally saw the headlight. So we ended up stopping. And what was neat is that it just started raining. And I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. But actually, I do think the raindrops in 4K look pretty cool. So, what? Come on out. Train's coming, baby. We'll be here in less than a minute.
Coming. That way it's coming?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it coming now?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. Come look.
Hold it up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up.
Yeah. Come on. Come wave at the engineer. Oh, so yes, I did figure out a way to somehow put Jaws references into a train video. You're welcome. It's Florida. We're near the coast. I like the movie Jaws. It's a classic. So, anyways, as you also probably heard, I also brought my 6-year-old stepdaughter to the track to try to get her in touch with her nerdy side as well. And she, as you probably, if you listen to the conversation closely, she did not believe that the train was coming. So, but anyways, that's all I got to say about that. Alright, and so the following morning, I woke up and both girls were in daycare, so it's just me by myself. And this is usually my usual waiting spot in the morning for the northbounds, because like I said, I can usually time them pretty well that they'll come here between 9:25 and 10. And on this morning, I was pleasantly surprised. I saw the headlight was a little bit further up than the ditch light, so I knew, oh, this is going to be an EMD, which, if you have not figured out by now, I'm a very big old school EMD fan. So I knew this was either going to be a GP40, a GP38, or an SD40. And I looked out, and it turned out to be an SD40-2 Leading, which is my favorite looking move of all time. I cannot say this enough. I will annoy you with it. But you can mute me if you want. But anyways, this is the morning northbound, and I think I end up chasing this up to St. Augustine, and I can't remember if I chased it north. We'll find out when I continue watching this video. So yeah, enjoy. So obviously the next stop when chasing these things is always this spot here in St. Augustine behind the hotel. I wasn't alone today on this one. Apparently there was a fellow nerd who also was trying to catch this train. I don't know his name, but you can see part of his arm right there on the left. Nice guy. So if you're watching it, nice to meet you. But the other thing I also want to mention, I didn't mention the other clip, was obviously the GOAT is the main star of the show, but this GP38 and the Hurricane scheme is also pretty fantastic, because that scheme is, I believe, from the 80s, and for that being a 30 to 40-year-old paint job, it's looking pretty good. I mean, I don't think it's been repainted because the barricade stripes are on both ends are extremely faded. Well, I can't remember if the front end still has it, but obviously you can see the barricade stripes on the back end are extremely faded. I know they used to actually have gyro lights on the front of them. Obviously, this one doesn't have it, so probably the nose got redid. But the fact that that Hurricane scheme is still in that good condition, I think it's worth mentioning. So enjoy. All right, and the final clip for this day is the train entering Bowden Yard in Jacksonville. I'm standing on, I believe it's called Bay Meadows Bridge, which is just a roadway that goes over the yard. And this is probably your best vantage point of getting any kind of yard action without trespassing. So here he is creeping in, and yeah, that's all I got. And because I'm poor and don't own a drone yet, go to my Patreon. I have to resort to standing on bridges in order to get aerial shots. So here I am in Bunnell, Florida, standing on the 100 bridge, trying to get a top-down view of these ES44s. Alright, and so on Wednesday, I was able to get some more goat action for you. And if you look closely, I have another special treat. I was able to get the veterans unit for a second time. This is the exact same lash up from the previous week, which is in the previous video. But man, that 430 is a good looking locomotive. So for those of you who have kids, be a good dad. Bring your kids with you. Spend time with them. I don't know what exactly she found so interesting on my dashboard, but I think that was a garage door opener that she just dropped. But anyways, trying to introduce her to rail fanning. Whether or not it'll take, I don't know. It's a 50-50. Sometimes she pays attention to them. Sometimes she doesn't. And as you heard in the clip with the jaw stuff, I brought my 6-year-old stepdaughter as well. So unfortunately this shot didn't work out the way I was hoping it would. I was hoping with this curve, with the sun at the west now, I was hoping to actually have a better lighting of the side. And obviously it is lighting that side of the train up, but unfortunately the light is actually bleeding out a lot of the color. And so I didn't really realize it until after I took the video and started reviewing it that you really can't see the Florida East Coast on the side of the ES44s from this angle. And this is just me doing rookie stuff with cameras. Still trying to learn all the angles and the focal points and the lighting, all that stuff. And hopefully one day I'll be able to afford a drone and get all better angles and views. But until then, I gotta use my iPhone and my GoPro. And unfortunately, I guess where I set my iPhone up this day is, unfortunately, the way the angle was, it just bled out most of the color and the lettering. All right, and so in this clip, you get to watch me learn a hard rookie lesson in videography. I end up putting my iPhone 16 on a tripod, but I end up putting the tripod too close to the tracks and it wasn't weighted down. And for those of you, actually all of y'all should know this, because probably y'all are nerds like me. You know how much wind these trains generate when they go by. So you get to watch me break shit in this clip. End up breaking the screen on my iPhone 16, and luckily I had insurance that covered it, but still, don't do this. Don't do what I did. So needless to say, that wasn't part of the plan, and actually I had no idea that my phone had fallen until afterwards because I was standing over here next to the GoPro. So we're just going to go ahead and switch to this video, and so you can actually see the train. So remember that rough looking GP40 that I kind of showed at the beginning of the video sitting in Bowden Yard? Well, here it is on this northbound earning its keep. So apparently, even though it looks rough, it still works just fine. So I thought that was interesting. Wasn't kind of expecting to see it paired up with the ES44C4, but hey, Ford East Coast got to do what it's got to do, and that's kind of what I like about this railroad. Is you don't know what you're going to get. It's pretty colorful and I guess eclectic is the right term. I don't know. Grammar people, you can let me know if that was the right word or not. But what I like about the 40s is because like, you don't know what you're going to get each day when it comes to motive power. And the fact that they have new stuff and old stuff, I like it. Keeps my nerd going. Alright, so this concludes this week's FEC rail fanning video. Happy 4th of July to all my American friends. Even if you're not American, still have a happy 4th of July. But to my American friends, count how many fingers and toes you start off the night with, and make sure you have the same number of fingers and toes, and preferably the same ones, when you end the night. Stay safe, don't put rockets on your head. It never ends well. So, y'all have a good one.